Hello friends, in this session I would teach you how an accounting equation problem can be solved and how easy it would be to solve an accounting equation problem. But before I start with the practical problem, I would like to tell you about the thumb rule. So to solve an accounting equation, the very thumb rule is assets is equal to liability plus capital. So this is the thing which you have to remember every time before you start solving the accounting equation problem. So let's begin with this practical example wherein I plotted 9 entries and we need to see how it can be plotted in the accounting equation form. Okay, so first entry is A commenced business with cash rupees 2 lakh and land rupees 50,000. This means that A has started a new business wherein A is bringing 2 lakh rupees of cash and 50,000 worth of land in the business. So as you know, the business entity is a separate legal entity from its owner. So whatever entries we are recording in the accounting equation, this is from a business side. So now if I see this entry wherein 2 lakh rupees of cash is coming in the business, right, and 50,000 worth of land is contributed by its owner, right. So on the left hand side, which is an asset side, you see 2 lakh rupees is cash coming in and 50,000 land coming in the business. On the right hand side, this means that 2 lakh 50,000 has been contributed by the owner, and when it is contributed by the owner, that means there is a capital which is coming in the business as a capital. Yeah, so 2 lakh 50,000 is the capital which Mr. A is bringing to the business. Now you can see the left hand side is equal to right hand side, and that shows our accounting equation is correct. So this is another thumb rule to ensure that your accounting equation is correct. The second entry is where bought merchandising for cash rupees 80,000. Now the business is started and it started trading. The before trade, the business is purchasing 80,000 worth of stock, which means the business is incurring or business is paying 80,000 for the purpose of purchasing stock, right. So this means 80,000 rupees of cash is going out of the business and 80,000 stock is coming in the business. Again, the left hand side is equal to the right hand side, and that is why we see this entry is correct. Now we have to see the cumulative impact of those two entries on the assets and liability position. So to see that, we need to add up these transactions together and then see what is my total asset and what is my total liability, right. So as you can see, 2 lakh minus 80,000, 1 lakh 20,000 is cash remaining in the business, 50,000 worth of land and 80,000 worth of stock, which is total equal to 2 lakh 50,000. And as I said, left hand side is equal to the right hand side. That means till now our accounting equations is correct. The third entry is cash sales of worth rupees 25,000. Now here one element is missing. So this entry is not showing what is the profitability of profitable like profit in element in this transaction. So here, if nothing is given, so you need to assume certain aspects about the profitability of the transaction. In this case, if I assume out of 25,000 worth of sale, 1,000 rupees is my profit and 24,000 is the cost of goods sold. So if I assume that, I need to put a footnote at the end of this table to provide my assumptions that this is the assumptions I am carrying while plotting this accounting this entry in the accounting equation form. So let's put in this way: 25,000 cash coming in the business Then as I said, out of 25,000, 1,000 is my profit and 24,000 is the cost of goods. That means stock of worth of 24,000 is going out of the business and 1,000 is the profitability, right? So you can see left hand side equal to my right hand side, and hence the transaction is complete or correct. Yeah. Now again, if I see the overall cumulative impact of these three entry, you can see cash is 1,45,000, land is again 50,000, and stock is now to 56,000, and the capital is 2,50,000 and 1,000 rupees of profit. So you see on the left hand side we have a total of 2,51,000, and on the right hand side we have a total of 2,51,000. So that means left hand side equal to the right hand side, and the accounting equations is correct. Now the fourth entry is bought goods on credit from B of worth rupees 50,000. Here we are purchasing a goods on a credit basis, which means there is nothing cash coming in the business. 50,000 worth of goods coming into the business, and because this purchase is on credit, that means we are creating a liability in the form of sundry creditors of 50,000 rupees, because we are not paying upfront for purchase of stock worth 50,000. So now the left hand side is equal to the right hand side, the transaction is complete. Again, we need to see what is the cumulative impact after this transaction. You can see the cumulative impact is 1,45,000 because there was no cash transaction involved. On point number 4, land is again 50,000, stock is 1,06,000, and now we have on the right hand side sundry creditors of 50,000 and capital 2,50,000 and 1,000 rupees of profit. So if I add up right hand side, the total right hand side value is 3,01,000, and on the left hand side we should see 3,01,000, like you see 3,01,000. So which means my left hand side equal to the right hand side, and I can say that my transaction is complete and correct. The fifth entry is sale on account to C, right? So that means we are selling, or the business is selling goods worth 12,000 rupees to C on credit terms, which means again there is nothing given up in terms of the profitability of this transaction. So again I assume 1,000 is my profit and 11,000 is my cost of goods. So 11,000 cost of goods is going out of the business. That means my stock is getting reduced by 11,000, and because this transaction is on a credit basis, that means there is a debtor which will be created. So I'll be having 12,000 rupees of creditors being created because the transaction is on a credit term. And again, as I said, 1,000 is my profit element into it. So 1,000 will be a profit element into this equation. So now you can see left hand side equals to right hand side, and then I can say that the transaction is complete and correct. Now at this point in time, what is the cumulative balance? Again, the cash is 1,45,000, land is 50,000, stock is now 95,000, debtors, which is a new item, 12,000. On the right hand side, liability is 50,000, and capital is 2,50,000, and the profit is 2,000. This is the position till entry number 5. Now look at entry number 6. Purchase furniture of the value rupees 5,000 by cash, which means the business is paying 5,000 cash, which means 5,000 is going out of the business and 5,000 worth of furniture is coming in the business. Yeah. So you can see 0 at the asset side, and on the liability sides again this is 0, nothing is there on the right hand side. So left hand side equal to the right hand side. Now again we need to see what is the cumulative impact after this transaction. 1,40,000 cash, 50,000 land, 95,000 stock, 12,000 debtors, 5,000 furniture, and then 50,000 on the right hand side, 50,000 sundry creditors, 2,50,000 capital, and 2,000 profit till now. Okay. Now seventh number item is receive cash from C 10,000. So as you see, we made a sale of 12,000 rupees to C on a credit term. Now at point number 7, we are receiving 10,000 rupees of cash from the debtors, which means 10,000 cash would get increased and 10,000 debtors will get reduced because we are realizing our debtors. Yeah, again the right hand side equal to the left hand side, so transaction is correct. Now again the cumulative impact after this transaction, you can see 1,50,000, 1,50,000 cash, 50,000 land, 95,000 stock, 2,000 debtors, 5,000 rupees furniture, sundry credit on the right hand side, sundry creditors 50,000, capital 2,50,000, and the profit is 2,000. The eighth entry is return defective furniture of worth rupees 1,500. So whatever the furniture we bought earlier, out of that furniture, it seems that some furniture got defective, having a value of 1,500. And again, because there is nothing which has been mentioned, so I can assume that while returning the furniture of 1,500, the seller will pay back 1,500 to me. So on that assumption, I will increase 1,500 cash in this and reduce the value of furniture by 1,500. So as I said, if there is nothing given in the question, then you need to assume according to your assumption, and then put that assumption as a footnote at the end of the table, which will clarify to the examiner that what is your thought process and what was your assumption, and on the basis of which you plot this accounting equation. Okay, the last entry is paid wages rupees 1,000, rent rupees 2,000, and electricity bill payable 1,500. You can see all these things are P&L item because these are expenditures which is reducing my profitability. The first two items, which is wages and rent, is being paid in cash, which means 1,000 plus 2,000, 3,000 is going out of the business. Okay, and the third one is electricity bill payable. We are not paying anything upfront, rather we are creating a liability, which means on the right hand side there is a liability is getting created 1,500. And then, as I said, all these three items are P&L items: 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, and then 1,500, which is 4,500. So this P&L item is 4,500 negative because these are the expenses which will reduce the profitability. Yeah, so you can see on the left hand side the total is 3,000 negative. On the right hand side you can see 3,000 negative, so which means this transactions is complete. Again, if I see the accumulated impact of these transactions now, you can see 1,48,500 is the cash at the end of all these general entries. You can see, just hold on. Yeah, you can see a cash 1,48,500, land 50,000, stock 95,000, debtors 2,000, furniture 3,500, total 2,99,000. That is the total of the left hand side. On the right hand side, what we have is sundry creditors 50,000, electricity payable 1,500, capital 2,50,000, and P&L 2,500 negative. So if I add up these 4 items together, I'm having 2,99,000, which means my left hand side equal to the right hand side. So all these transactions is correct from the accounting equations point of view. That's how we can plot any journal entry into an accounting equation form, uh, provided the thumb rule is what you need to remember every time. Thank you